I use stress, I use conflict, and I build a life.
My goal is to meet as many people on this planet as possible, people that are positive, people that have more time to create than to be critical, more time to hustle than they have to hate, and they want to actually add strategy and techniques that are proven to grow their business so that they can take care of their family and their church.
10X was written for me. It's a multiplier. It's about how to multiply and scale. And I've been asked this question a number of times, like, should I scale? If you don't scale, you will die. And I know that from personal experience because I tried to stay small. It's the biggest mistake I made in business. I tried to manage my business. I tried to stay small. I tried to work out of home. I misunderstood that if you have a great message, a great product, you have to scale. And how do you do that financially? How do you do it with an audience? How do you do it socially? How do you do it with real estate? How do you do it with your life and your family? Mm-hmm. I probably spend more time with my family, me and Johnny were talking about this before the show, than 99% of all people. But I also spend a lot of time in my business and a lot of time in other businesses. So we have 7 businesses today. When I wrote the 10X rule, I had 2. I use stress, I use conflict, and I build a life. The 10X rules basically shows you how to do more, get more, have more, and enjoy life more. I think about a life. So like when I take my life and I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna draw Grant's life out. I drop in, oh, he's a CEO. Okay, oh, he's a real estate guy. Oh, he's a husband. He's a father, right? I drop these things into my life. I'm doing my life. I'm not doing a job today. This is not something I'm adding to a schedule. I'm not managing time. I'm creating a life. And whatever time I have today, I'll do all these things that are important to me today. A 10-hour day is a short day for me. I hear more people promoting this 4-hour idea, okay? Like Tim Ferriss, I'll just call him out right now. It is complete bunk. It is complete bullshit. You cannot outsource everything. This idea that you're gonna be a solopreneur, outsource or work 4 hours or part-time, you guys try to do the part-time thing, you will have full-time problems. Forever, to the end of your life. Not only will you have problems, because you're selfish if you're trying to do a 4-hour work week. You're selfish, you're thinking only about yourself. If you don't scale and hire people, you're also selfish. You're trying to manage money rather than saying, hey, I have a great message. Like you have an obligation, man, to get out there and help people. So I don't know how to do 10 hours. I know I need 6 to 7, maybe 8 hours of sleep a day. The question is, how am I going to best utilize my other 16 hours with my family, as a father, as a community leader, as somebody that's interested in changing the conditions around me, right? And how can I use that phone to maximize those 16 hours? And how can I spend time with my kids that actually adds value to my business, right? How can I create a studio so me and my wife can work together on Wednesdays? Like everything that we do here is about my life so that I'm dropping stuff into my life bucket. My work gets dropped in here, so it's like everything I do. I go on a trip, I go look at real estate, I do an interview, I set up a house in Deer Valley for a month. I have people come over, investors, I look at real estate. Everything is basically, what is it?
You're churning.
Yeah, exactly, inside a soup, right? I'm making a meal called my life. Everybody's trying to go out there and not sell. You guys are all trying to like, I'm gonna be talented. Talent does not win. I know a whole bunch of guys less talented than me that beat me for years. They beat me because they got exposure in the marketplace.
Can you name some of those names?
Just in different sectors. Okay. In real estate, okay, there's a group that they went out and bought 140,000 units. I got 4,500. They're not as good. They take a lot of shortcuts. They don't take care of the tenant as well as I do, but they thought way bigger than I did. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it's in different spaces. There was an automotive space that I was in for years. I was the leader in the automotive space. Me and another guy constantly combating, right? He had a garbage product. He sold for less than I did. He scaled better than I did. He beat me at the scale game. So you can't see. A lot of people say, look, man, Steve Jobs started his business in a garage. I think Cadillac's got a commercial where the Cadillac was created in a garage. Who else? Bill Gates started his business in a garage. Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook in a dorm. Everybody's like, oh my God, man, I can do this from home. None of those companies got big when they stayed in the garage of the dorm. Marky Z didn't make it until he moved to Silicon Valley and built a team, okay? Google didn't become Google until they had a campus in Silicon Valley and they scaled to tens of thousands of employees. So you have to scale to be great. I'm gonna go out, I left my job, I was making 90 grand. Now me and Gary Vaynerchuk had this conversation. I was making 90 grand, now I'm gonna work for myself and make 90 grand. And Gary's like, well, yeah, the guy's better off. The guy's better off working for himself for 90 grand than working for somebody else. And I'm like, dude, nobody's better off working for 90 grand. You can't live on 90 grand.
Not today, you can't.
No, anywhere in America. There's nowhere in America. You live for 90 grand in Miami, you're gonna have $12,000 before taxes left over at the end of the year if you don't shop at Whole Foods. So the point of that is, if you were working for $90,000 for a company and then you go work for yourself for $90,000, you should be taking that money and buying a secretary, buying a receptionist, buying scale, buying a sales team, reinvesting money. You should not have any money left over at 90 grand. All of it should be going to be poured back into the business to scale out, unless all you're thinking about is yourself.